It's pizza night. I don't know exactly what kind of pizzas we're gonna make, but I'm gonna figure it out. And I know for certain that we do need to start with the dough so that it can start rising. So let me get started on that first.
All right. So I realized that I still do not have this recipe memorized. So the first thing I did is I had to go get the recipe. Then I had to get all of the ingredients out of the cabinet. It is nothing fancy, just flour, sugar, water, salt, olive oil, and instant yeast. So I started adding my ingredients to my stand mixer. I love my stand mixer. It does a lot of good work for me. um, and just trying to get everything together. I was doubling the recipe, and honestly, at this point in the day, I could barely think about what I was doing. It's the end of the week, end of the work week. So I had forgotten to double some things and had to kind of go back later and add more to it, but it's fine. It's fine. As long as all the ingredients end up in the pot, it's fine. Um, I did, and I realized you couldn't really see, but I did mix the yeast in the warm water first. My liquid measure was dirty still from my adventure on mac and cheese yesterday, so I just eyeballed it using my um, dry ingredient measuring cups, which I'm sure is not the best way to do this, but I figure worst case I can just add more flour to it, you know, or more water if I needed to get it the right consistency. So I added that, and now I'm just slowly adding the water. Or sorry, see, still can't talk, still can't think. Just adding the flour into the mixer gradually and letting it mix. I did have a little bit of a patience problem with that, so I probably mixed it on a little bit of a too high of a speed. I am oiling my separate bowl, and when I started taking the dough off the dough hook, I realized it really was kind of still not quite right. There were dry spots and there were spots that were really tacky. So I just took the opportunity to knead it a little bit in the bowl, and that just was not really cutting it. It still was kind of just a mess. So I went ahead and kneaded it on the small bit of counter space that I had left. Really, it was maybe a 8-inch square space that I used here, but I really just needed to get that dough working a little bit better before I hit it, put it in the bowl. And then I grabbed a clean tea towel or kitchen towel to put on top.
I think I've actually decided that one of the pizzas is going to be turkey and ranch. Kind of like a chicken and ranch. I have some bacon too, but it is also frozen, so we'll see. Maybe I can do like a chicken bacon ranch kind of thing. So I'm gonna get this thawing in the microwave. This is leftover from Thanksgiving. I'm just gonna try to defrost that, and we'll assemble the rest for that pizza. So straight ranch is not going to be a sauce for pizza. So what I'm gonna do is do maybe half ranch and half and some milk in there to help kind of thin this out and turn it into a more spreadable sauce that you would expect on a pizza. So let's try mixing this up and seeing how this goes. Oh, that's very thin. Might have overestimated how much milk I would need for this. So let's add a little more ranch. Look, more ranch. Okay. Oh, that's better. See? still thin enough to be used as a pizza sauce. So let's see what that ranch flavor is looking like. Yeah, it's very ranch, so that's good. Sauce done. Our cheese for the chicken bacon ranch, I'm thinking cheddar. The only cheddar I have is sliced, so I'm going to try to just slice it into finer strips and see if that will do.
Of course, usually I would shred the cheese for pizza, but we're nearing the end of the cheese that I have on hand, and this is what I had. I had bought it for sandwiches, and we just didn't need nearly as much as I required. So I chopped it up. I feel like that was very similar to grated cheese. I hope it will melt just fine. And really, it chopped into more than I thought. So while I was chopping this up, I thought, the other pizza might need to use cheddar cheese as well. What other pizzas use cheddar cheese?
So I've decided our second pizza is going to be barbecue chicken, in part because I am thawing that turkey from Thanksgiving. So, we're going to use it, right? So I'm applying a similar method that I did to the ranch. I'm going to put a healthy amount of barbecue sauce in this. I have diluted it with some water, and we're going to use this as the basis of the sauce for that pizza. I do have lots of red sauce. I just don't have a lot of toppings that would go well with a red sauce. So that's what we're going to do. Pizza number 2. Damn, it's actually really nice. All right, so I've got my turkey. It is mostly thawed. It's still a little frozen, but my goal was not to like recook the turkey because it's already cooked for starters. And I don't want it to get horribly overcooked. So I'm just gonna chop it up a little bit to make sure that it's in small enough pieces for pizza appropriateness. And here we go, that's what we're gonna do. And, oh, still a bone from the turkey on that one. Glad I found that. Any other bones? No. Whoops. Hands are a little wet. Probably shouldn't handle knives like that. So just gonna get this roughly chopped up so that it's appropriate for pizza. And I think I've also decided that I'm only going to do 2 pizzas. So initially I was like, maybe I'll do 4 little personal pizzas because I just don't have a ton of the traditional pizza toppings available. But me that's actually preparing said food is thinking, man, really don't want to make another pizza. So I'm thinking I'll just do 2 larger pizzas, one with the ranch, one with the barbecue, and that means I will go ahead and thaw that bacon, get that started. Whatever, we'll only need maybe 2 pieces of bacon for the pizza. So whatever we don't eat, we'll have in the morning, because I'll have to thaw the whole pack pretty much to get 2 pieces off. So let me get started on that. Now that we've got our turkey for our barbecue chicken, air quotes chicken, and our bacon chicken ranch. All right, I hope this bacon is thawed enough to get a couple of pieces off. Really only need a couple, unless I choose to do bacon on the ranch pizza too, which I actually might now that we're talking about it. And then I'll put the rest of this block, which is not fully defrosted by any means, in the fridge for tomorrow morning. And I think, let's see, that was 1, 2 and a half. All right. And I think in the morning it will be defrosted enough. Cheapers. For breakfast. So let me get a Ziploc for that. Gotta wash my hands for the 14th time. But before I do that, let me go ahead and chop up this bacon. I'm going to just use my little kitchen shears that I use to open the yeast packets because I couldn't find my scissors. I'll just go ahead and get this chopped up. Shouldn't take it too long to cook, and I don't need it to cook fully because remember, the pizzas go in the oven.
So I got that bacon started on the stove, and I did clean the countertops just a little bit. Kind of a constant battle with keeping the kitchen clean when I'm cooking. Um, and our dough I had sitting on top of the stove while the oven was preheating, which I don't know, may or may not have been a good idea. It was actually pretty warm when I took it out of that metal bowl. And this is not the first time I have done that. I actually made rolls once, and I put it in the same metal bowl, and I put them on top of the stove to rise because it's warmer there, and it actually cooked the edge of the dough on the bowl. So you'd think I'd learn, but I didn't. So anywho, I don't have any cornmeal this week. I ran out last week on pizza night, so I just sprayed with cooking spray the bottom of those pans significantly so that hopefully it would not stick, and it didn't, which was great. But now I'm just getting my sauces on. So that was the barbecue, and then this is the ranch. Honestly, I felt the consistency on both of these was pretty good. Now I'm sprinkling on that turkey that I had chopped up and defrosted from the microwave. Had to check again on the bacon. There I am getting the paper towels out for the bacon so that it's not overly greasy, the pizza. Um, and adding our cheese, that sliced cheddar cheese. Um, and then I had half a bag of mozzarella left, so that went on top as well. Added a little bit more cheddar just to fill in some of those empty spaces. And then the last ingredient I put on top was the bacon. And then these were ready to go in the oven. I forgot I did a little drizzle of the sauces on top. The ranch ended up kind of blending in, but the barbecue stayed nice looking on top like that. So just getting those in the oven and then taking them out of the oven. Um, Very excited I was. um, but it really wasn't quite done yet. So what I ended up doing was just flipping the top and the bottom, and putting them back in for like 5 more minutes, just so that they could cook a little bit longer and really get that nice sort of golden bubbly goodness on top. 5 minutes later, we were finally ready to take these guys out of the oven, and man, they looked so good. Um, so I went ahead and pulled it out. And we were able to get these sliced up beautifully for dinner. Um, we had Everyone got a little bit of both of the flavors of pizza, just couldn't decide which would be best. It took about an hour all told to make dinner, but this is what we had for Friday night pizza night.